Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of the North Star Podcast. Today we have a special guest here, Mr. Jonah Weisner. He actually drove down here, 5-hour drive just to come onto the podcast because he loves me so much. So we want to say thank you for that. And yeah, Jonah, I just, I think I want to start off this podcast by you just kind of explaining your story with baseball first, because I think that's going to be a big topic of what we talk about, but just your journey so far of, like how we know each other, how we met, but also to what are you doing currently and what does your, day-to-day look like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our relationship goes back years now, right? Met you through my mom and, had the chance to train with you when I was in junior college. And, honestly, that was a pretty pivotal point in my life because, given the fact that I was, slowly coming into myself and really exploring myself physically, finding out who I was and my identity physically. I think it was like a perfect storm for me, right? And also, just meeting you and having the ability to understand like my body better and into what it means to, train for my specific sport, which is obviously baseball. That really bolstered my collegiate career, right? And I've told you multiple times, like, you're a big influence and you hold some responsibility for my successes, right, in the sport. And just being able to learn and kind of have that mentorship, especially given the fact that you were a guy who had the opportunity to play baseball in your younger adult years, right, through school. Having that accessibility to you and understanding like, this is what you need to do. This is how you have to go after, training yourself, or what your weekly schedule should look like, before a weekend series. That really allowed me to mature and adopt a better, philosophy of what I want to do as an athlete and how I want to perform, to the most optimal level. Right. So, yeah, more or less that was the, kind of, I guess, so to speak, the gate opening for me was meeting you at the Fit Lab, having the chance to, train with you and understand, what a program looks like in terms of that. And, I think subsequently, year after year, it was kind of an annual thing, right? I come back in the winter and we would do our thing and that carried itself over. And, here we are today where, I had a, very, very fortunate and privileged to have an awesome collegiate career where I was at in Kansas, playing baseball. And, it's led me to be able to, not only pursue my passion in baseball, but also, somewhat make it, a living for me, right? As of right now. So to be able to play professional baseball and do that, as a job is, pretty special to me. So I give a lot of credit to you and what you did for me and to help kind of, make that take off, so to speak.
Yeah, thanks for pumping my tires, and that's the podcast, everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we needed to hear, boys.
For sure.
No, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. It's been really fun to, not just get to know you as a person, but just be able to build a friendship too. I think that's really cool about this industry is that, you're not going to have the same relationship with everyone that you have, that you train, but I think it's really cool and special when you can, build a friendship from it, and you start to adapt and understand it as something that is something a little bit different than what you usually get with a relationship. So I think my follow-up though with this is, right now currently what are you doing, where you're playing, what's the vision, what do you kind of want to do moving forward for baseball?
Yeah, I think, selfishly, people who pursue baseball to the extent, of wanting to do it for a career, I think selfishly, we can all say we want to be in the MLB, right? Major League Baseball, that's the end goal, right? I mean, if you follow any kind of sports, whether it's the NFL or Major League Baseball, NHL, right? Whatever it may be, I mean, that's the premier of the premier, right? That's the cream of the crop. So, like I'm 25 now. Obviously, I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting older, and with that comes different responsibilities in life. But the past few years of my life, I've really had different challenges that have come up and have challenged my pursuit of baseball to the next level. And it's like, hey, is this something that I can still do? And is it feasible still? Right. And is it something that I want for myself? Right. Because you get to a certain point in your life where you're like, okay, well, eventually I want to be a first time home buyer. Right. I want to build a family eventually too. But, you know, selfishly, you know, you think back to that little kid when you're 11, 10 years old, and it's like, you know, are you letting that little kid in you down, right? If you stop doing what you love so much. So, yeah, like the goal for me, I mean, man, I had, you know, when you look back in retrospect, and we can talk about this further along the line here during the podcast, but, you know, having that opportunity last summer to go play collegiately up in Alberta in a summer collegiate league, right? And having a breakout season, you know, and being blessed with that, you know, that led to another, which was my first professional contract in baseball. And for me, it was like, okay, this is finally where I want to be. Like, this is the initial starting point for me to get to that next level, right? You go from independent professional to now affiliate, right? I'm part of a farm system with either the Blue Jays or whoever wants to sign me, and then eventually try to work your way through the ranks of getting to the MLB, the top level, right? So, okay, this is step one for me. And finally, it's like, all right, it's here now. It's paid off. I've finally gotten to that step, right? And you know, baseball, it's like any business, right? It's very unpredictable sometimes, right? You can't really predict challenges and different hurdles that come up, and, you know, you have to take the blows as they come. And for me, I was like, okay, well, I go and I you know, I get a little bit of playing time. It wasn't that much. I was more or less a bench guy, right? Just kind of finding my own, essentially. And you know, November 15th rolls around, 2023, right? Still. And here's the day for me either to get re-signed by the team, released, or traded. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I got here with 4 weeks left in the season, right? This is probably it for me. They're not going to re-sign me. I'm going to have to go back to step one, right? Didn't really have a large sample, you know, to give them and showcase myself, right? And next thing you know, I get a call and I get re-signed. So I'm like, okay, cool, right? I still have this. I have the opportunity to go play professionally still, right? And then, you know, months go by. We're about a month out of the season. And hey, you know, business moves were made. Guys are available now that got released from their farm teams. You know, you don't have a roster spot anymore, right? So, you know, truly for the first time in my life, not having any college baseball lined up because I'm done college now, right? I have no more eligibility. I just got released from my professional team. What am I going to do? Mm-hmm. Am I going to, you know, continue to try to play baseball, or is this it for me? Right. So I had a decision to make there. I was like, okay, am I going to continue to pursue things that I want to do with my life in terms of this passion for baseball, or am I going to completely take a 180 and completely go in a new direction? Right. And I chose to myself, even though I didn't know the uncertainty behind it, I chose to myself, you know, I told myself, listen, I'm going to continue to do this because this is what I love. Right. And it wasn't until halfway throughout the summer, this past summer, right, I get a phone call from a team in Welland, Ontario. Right? Never heard of the place. I was like, what is this? I have no idea. Right? They start to talk logistics. They say, hey, this is what we're about. We're an independent baseball team, league out of Canada, you know, professional talent, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, next thing you know, I'm traveling across Canada in my car to go play baseball. And so just like that, the dreams reignited. Right? So obviously, like, yeah, to answer your question, right. Obviously, my answer was super long there. To answer your question, absolutely. This is something that I love. You know, I just turned 25. I want to continue to do it for as long as possible and make a career out of it, right? Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. But when I'm 45 years old, am I going to look back in the mirror and say, did I do everything I could have? Did I follow my dream as long as I could have? Right? I don't want that. I don't want those question marks. I want certainty that, yeah, I did everything I could to get to that point. You know what I mean? So, yeah, as long as I can play this game, you know, and I can fit in physically, skill wise, right? I want to continue to excel and be involved. Absolutely.
So what does it look like for you this upcoming season? So you said you got a report here in mid-October.
Yeah.
What does that look like? Do you have like do they tell you already kind of what they want you to do this year? Like what's happening for you?
Yeah, so, you know, it's always different. Like every team has different dynamics, right? Based off of what the need is for them from their own perspective. And then also too, you know, your own individual perspective goes into that as well, right? Like my biggest thing is, okay, when do I really want to get back on, you know, on track with what I'm trying to do training wise, right? You know, I've allowed myself the past, I'd say 3 weeks or so to really have a reset, give my body a break, heal, right? Because baseball is a very, you know, it's a long season when you think about it, right? Mm-hmm. For those that play and maybe that watch and have some kind of appreciation or understanding, like you realize, okay, it's a taxing sport on your body, right? So for me, I knew that was super important, you know, to get back home at least for a little bit, see some family, give my body a reset, obviously still doing things, but not progressively overloading my body so that I'm going to be broken down by the time, the serious gains are wanted in terms of me, right? Where I want to be physically. But, talking to upper management out in Welland, they were very flexible. They said, you know what, like you have a choice. You can either stay down here in the off season and we can offer you, our facilities, you can train, do your own thing. And we'll have it accessible to you, or you can come, go wherever you want. You can go back home. So, I knew for me, and, this ties into what we just talked about, being 25, I truly do believe like this is my prime. Like I'm in my prime, right now, physically, everything. Like this is it right now for me in terms of being at the best possible skill level, physically, et cetera, right? So, I knew a sacrifice that I wanted to make, for myself selfishly. And, it sucks because I love family, but I know for me, the best version of myself 2025 in the summer is going to come if I'm in a place that has those facilities, that has that resources that I can, utilize to my advantage. And that's in Ontario, that's in Welland, right? It's not up in, the Caribou where I live in the middle of nowhere in a forest, right? I mean, as much as I love being home, I know that that's not going to benefit me, and I'm not going to be as ready as I could be to excel come time opening day, right? So that's kind of where I'm at, man. I mean, they told me like whenever I want to come down, let them know, and we'll get flights booked and they'll deal with that, the logistics. But yeah, I know obviously the sooner I can get down there, the quicker I can start to jump into things. And that's where you come along too, is giving me that mentorship of what to be doing, and again, why I feel why I've been so successful is because I have that good foundation that's been set with our relationship we have, right?
What's your timeline for your season? Like you get there mid-October and then what?
Yeah, so timeline wise, I got the whole winter to train, just be, obviously it sucks because as we know, Ontario gets lots of snow, right? Yeah. But overall, I mean, having the access to indoor facilities and having access to pitching machines, to open wide areas that you can, do a lot of explosive lateral movement. Like you're not confined is what I'm trying to get at, right? So having that all around you, that's obviously going to be a super important thing for me, right? Because traditionally, I come back here, yeah, like sure, there's places around here in the Lower Mainland, but I'm not here in the Lower Mainland. I'm 5 hours away up in the bush, right? So I can do all the weightlifting. That's fine, right? That's perfectly fine. But I don't, when it comes to a skill set perspective, what am I going to do? I mean, when I was up in the interior, the Caribou, right, for the start of the summer, the only thing I had to keep myself in shape was the gym. And then I had a bow net, which I would throw baseballs into to keep my arm conditioned. And that can only do so much. So, here you are with a bucket of baseballs looking like a weirdo throwing balls into a net. It's like, how much is that going to do for you, right? It will do something, but to actually be around an environment that promotes that training, that gives you those real reps is, I mean, it's so important, especially with baseball, right? I mean, you play the game, how hard it is to hit, how hard it is to be fundamental with your skills if you haven't been doing it for a long time, right? So yeah, man, like I'm not gonna lie to you, when I got to Welland, right, I mean, here I am, I'm halfway through the year, the team's on a 12-game win streak, and it's like, how do you crack a lineup? Like how do you crack a lineup, right? They're doing everything right, and now you're the new guy. And oh, by the way, you haven't seen competitive pitching since August 1st of last year.
Yeah.
Here you go, kid. Here's a bag, go swing, right? So yeah, it took me a few weeks. Like, it took me a few weeks to get back into the speed of the game, right? Because
so you want to go there earlier this year to get accustomed to it?
Absolutely. That's so important for me. If I can go and do that and get accustomed to that, I think that it's going to be, hopefully, God willing, another breakout season for me.
What, do you know where you're playing, or if you're playing, or how does that work? You guys have meetings? How does it all go?
Yeah, like in terms of what they see from me and like on the team, like how I fit.
Yeah. Like, do they tell you that already going into this? Like when they re-sign you, do they tell you like, hey, this is what we want you from this year? This is like, or is that later on, like in December, January time?
No, I mean, traditionally, I mean, I guess every program or, team's different, but traditionally my experience has been, after the year's done, we'll have a exit meeting with upper management, coaches, all that, and we'll kind of dissect the season as a whole from an individual standpoint. Like from what they told me, they just said, hey, listen, like we were obviously super happy for what you offered and what you did. You exceeded expectations, which, that's great to hear as a player, obviously. And, like for next year, they pretty much told me like, hey, you know what? We want to try and bounce you off to the next level, get you up there and back into, professional baseball across North America. And, we got the resources here. It's just a matter of you coming back down here and having a good full year, not just half of a year, So I think what I was told is, I got the leadoff spot, and whether it's third base, second base, shortstop, there's, I'm going to be somewhere. But definitely, they see me coming back as a leadoff hitter for them and producing hopefully some positive productivity for them. Yeah.
Do you guys use metal or wood? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's wood. Yeah, wood. Yeah,
Oh,
all
that's
around.
nice.
Yeah, legit, right?
So it's like once you get to that next level, you're not having to transition again.
No,
That would
exactly.
suck.
No, it's tough, man. I mean, metal to wood, that's tough. You got to
We use metal in college, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun in college.
Yeah, because it changes the game, man. Imagine if MLB was metal.
Yeah, people would die. People would die, man. Like you get Shohei Ohtani up there ripping the metal bat, hitting balls like 130 off the barrel. Yeah, that's no fun, right? I mean,
That'd be kind of cool though.
Yeah, it would be.
It'd be fun to watch.
Like for a week or so, just see what happens.
Like they just have it's like All-Star Week or whatever.
Yeah.
They should all use metal.
Yeah.
All use the hype fire.
Oh my gosh, dude, that would be absolutely.
Have you used one before?
A hype fire?
Yeah.
No, that was I'm too old for that, man. I'm far past that. Yeah.
I have some kids that I have a kid, his name's Hayden. He doesn't have one, but he was talking to me about the kids on his team.
Yeah.
I was like really down to I wanted to try one. Like
Yeah, can you try one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would kill somebody.
yeah, just like to
Oh,
go
yeah.
BP, man.
Like remember that day we went to was it like Mill Lake or something? I don't know.
No Delaire.
Yeah, Delaire in Abbotsford. I mean, dude, like
Off a tee.
I'm pretty sure you almost killed somebody driving.
I hit the house, bro.
Yeah, you did.
Hit the bushes in the house.
You
and then we
literally
ran away.
lost my baseballs. I had to go buy new baseballs after that. Why? I should have sent you the invoice. I don't know why I didn't.
I mean, like $6 something, you know.
Like $12 a baseball,
Yeah.
man. It's expensive.
I'll buy you some more.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I haven't, dude. You know what I play? I just play a little slow pitch, man.
You were telling me about that.
But it's so hard, dude. It's actually harder than
Yeah.
baseball, bro. I'm actually being serious. Like as silly as that might sound,
Yeah.
I find that I can get my timing down when it's faster than when it's like a lob.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like so an angle of a baseball is coming down. So if you're watching this on camera, you'll see. But when a baseball comes, it goes down like this, right?
Yeah.
And it meets the bat. So when you swing, you meet the ball, right? Where this is like, it goes like this.
Yeah, it does.
So you're doing like, it's going here, and then you have to hit it and time it like that.
You know, some of the stuff I've seen with slow pitch, like it's actually disgusting. The way that they can move the ball and stuff. Like you would think it just comes in straight at you, like up, down, right? It's not true. Like
No.
they can curve it.
Yeah.
They can like make it. I don't even know how to explain it. It is hard, bro.
Dude, I actually think you would have not that I would say like you wouldn't be able to play. Like
Right.
it's not like you'd still be able to field and all that. Like that's not the hard part, the running, the fielding, the whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the timing of the actual hitting. You'd have a hard time with it.
No,
It's like slow, it's like soft toss, but like 10 times slower.
yeah, no, I've played a couple games before. And like, I think my first 2 at bats was like a ground out to the pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, it was the most humbling experiences of my entire life.
I'm telling you, man,
You know?
it's like it's so different, but I haven't hit BP in a long time.
Yeah. Like actual batting practice.
Yeah. What happens if I came to Ontario? Could I go hit?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Whatever you need, man. You want to come, I got tickets for you.
Wait. Do you where around is it from Toronto? How long?
It's literally I'm right beside Niagara Falls.
So how far of a drive is that?
And from Toronto?
Yeah.
An hour. Yeah. Yeah, if you flew in, like I'd come pick you up and like
Oh,
it's
you have a car
yeah.
out there?
I drove down there.
But you're not driving there again.
No, my car's down there right now.
Where is it?
I have my host family.
Give us everyone the address. Like, and no, just
67. No, I'm kidding. No, she would kill me, bro. You imagine, like,
they have all these fans that show up to your house.
oh man, I mean that would.
You're the guy out there, aren't you? That's what I hear.
I mean, you know, I do TikTok too, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was gonna
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Why? There's some people might come see you or what?
From
Yeah, Jonah's a TikTok famous.
Don't no.
Go search
Don't
him
lie to
out.
them like that, bro. Don't lie to people like that.
Jonah's TikTok famous. He also sings. Jonah also sings.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna come out at one point.
He actually
Yeah.
is there anything of you singing when you were a kid?
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
it's
there
on
anything-
YouTube, man. Like if you want to go watch me when I was
Jonah
13,
Weisner?
yeah, I mean it's
What is it called? Jonah Weisner what? Singing what?
just go on to YouTube and search up Jonah Weisner, man. Like I
no,
don't know
but
what to tell
singing
you.
what? Like what are you singing? Like a Taylor Swift song or something?
See, you know what the messed up part about this, everybody, is he knows exactly what I was singing. He's just trying to get me to say it. I got no shame in it though, man. Like when I was 13.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know,
You're
no.
a good singer. You're a good
I
singer.
appreciate that,
No,
Jim.
no, you're actually good.
No, I appreciate you. But I mean, yeah, that was also a super interesting part of my life. I mean, when you talk about multidimensional, you know, having the opportunity to do that, and then, you know, also baseball.
Why don't you ever sing the anthem for your team?
Like for Welland?
Yeah,
Because nobody knows I sing down there.
that's fine. Why don't you ask?
I mean, I could.
That'd be kind of cool, dude. Like opening night.
You think that would fire the people up?
I think it would fire the people up, man.
You think so?
Well, think of it. The player that's singing "O Canada,"
Yeah.
the opening night, and then you just rip your jersey off and just like run the bases.
Yeah, totally. A bunch of kids there and stuff. That'd be great. Oh yeah.
No, but going back to the serious note, I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool.
I mean, I can definitely run it past upper management and see.
That would be
you know?
that'd push you past your boundaries and your fears right there.
Yeah, you know,
I think you would be nervous.
It's not. I mean, of course. Like I'm nervous when I go play baseball. Like that's a part of the reason why I love it so much. It's the thrill. It's like an
You'd
adrenaline
intimidate
rush,
the
right?
other team, bro.
No, that's what I'm thinking, right? But no, like overall, I think the reason why I love, you know, sport and even singing for that matter, like music, I'm such a competitive individual. Like I want to, and I'm not trying to sound like arrogant. Like I want to beat you in everything, right? Like my biggest fear in life, it's not death. You know what my biggest fear is? It's complacency. Like I don't want to be complacent, right? If I work a 9 to 5 the rest of my life, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? And I'm just okay with being average. I'm not okay with that. Like some people are okay with that, right? But me, no, man. Like I want to be elite with everything that I do, and that's just my mindset, right? From day one, with music, with baseball, especially now, right? And I think that goes into, you know, to the whole idea of being told by so many people, like, nah, you can't do that. I can't do that. Like, watch me, I'll do it, right? Oh, you're not big enough. You're not tall enough, right? Okay, so, right? I don't care. I don't care if I'm not big enough, tall enough. I'll go put in the hard work when you're not watching. And guess what? When you're watching me, you know, doing my thing, then we'll talk after, kind of deal. And I'm not saying that to be like, you know, arrogant. Like, trust me, I'm not.
I have a book recommendation for you.
What is that?
I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I have a picture of it.
Yeah.
Something 365. It's by Lou. It's a book that I just started to read, actually. It's really good. But going back to... that was very motivational.
No, like, not to get all deep here and stuff, but like, I had to tell
You
you,
know
that.
what you would be sick, though?
What's that?
Is you sing "O Canada" and then you hit a lead off dinger.
I can definitely try to arrange that.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be electric. I think the whole entire stadium would just
The
be...
only thing, though, and this is the only thing, is if you sing "O Canada" and then you strike out,
That's a really bad look.
then it's like, stick to singing, buddy.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I'm hearing the rest of that. Like, I'm probably hearing about that the rest of the year if I do that. Like, you can't...
So you're taking a chance right now.
Yeah.
But it could also be like the biggest clip of ever. Like the starting guy sings "O Canada" and then he hits a leadoff dinger or like a leadoff ball off the wall.
I feel like my entire life's been based off of taking a chance, though. You know? So
I think it's that'd be pretty cool.
what? Yeah, why not? I'm for it.
This is the book. Here. That one.
Firelighters 365.
By Lou Is it Corella?
Yeah.
That one right there.
Yeah.
It's a good book. It's actually a really good book. I think you'd actually really like it. Corey was Eckstein. Corey Eckstein was reading it.
Oh, is he the one that put you on it, or?
Yeah, he posted like a thing about it, and I was like, oh, what's the book? So he recommended it. I was like, oh, this looks really good. I think you'd like it. It's like daily little like sayings, kind of.
Right.
Like every day is something, and it gives you perspective, and it talks a lot about like, it's like a strength and conditioning coach that talks about a lot about just like what he's gone through, or like outlooks or purpose or whatever kind of stuff like that. So
that's cool. I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? I like that. I like that.
Do you
man.
read?
Yeah, I mean, not as much as I should. You know what? I'm so burnt out from reading in college. I mean, the stuff that I had to read in college, it was so dry and just so long.
You actually read it?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Wait, why? You didn't read anything in college?
Dude, do you know what I would do?
What?
Because I'd go to the course, okay?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to just play baseball. Like, that's all I wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
I go to the course, and I wouldn't buy any books for any of the courses. Like, none of them. Okay. I'd go to the first class.
Yeah.
No mention of the book. So I was like, okay, I won't buy the book. Second class, no mention of the book. Okay, I won't buy the book. And eventually, they didn't use the book.
So you're just like, you got like a college hack right there.
Yeah, it was like, there was one, I did it once, okay? I did it, the one time I bought the book, literally the first day, the professor, and like one of the first things she had said was, oh yeah, we're not going to be using the book that is part of this course, so, you guys can keep it if you want, you can read it, and if not, then, like, I'm like, cool.
So you just wasted all that money for nothing.
Yeah, it was like $200 for a book, and just
Yeah, that's.
So no, I didn't. Yeah, I think I ended with like a 3.0 GPA.
It's respectable.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
Student.
I think I still have some credits if I really want to go back.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I think they transfer. You can transfer them.
What was your education in again?
Just whatever I wanted to do.
Whatever.
Yeah, just whatever class.
Yeah.
There's one class that I took.
Yeah.
That was, we watched YouTube videos for 3 hours at each class, and it was a class once a week. And we sat there and watched a YouTube video for 3 hours. And then they would give you a sheet that was, what's your opinion on these topics? And if you completed it, you would get the full mark.
So is that a scam?
Well, I don't know. I got like
what's the definition of a scam?
You got credits. I don't know. Is that a scam if you get something for it? I don't know. I feel like a scam, like you don't get anything out of it.
But like, what did you actually get out of it besides
higher
credits?
GPA?
Yeah, like,
credits,
right?
I don't know. I gotta play baseball. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something like that, I guess.
Right?
Yeah, no, I've definitely been a part of some of the, college courses that are, very similar to that too. And it's like, man, what am I doing right now?
I don't know how much the course was either. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Any regrets? Like, do you regret doing that, or are you like?
Do I regret going to college or going to that class?
Like that class in general.
No, because I would watch Netflix too. Like, I would have my laptop. And...
just thriving, hey.
Well, dude, you know how it is, bro. You can't tell me that when you were in college, the real reason that you're like, okay, maybe there's some education, obviously, but like the main reason you were there was to play baseball.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. I think college for me got really serious in my senior year and also my first year of grad school. Like, obviously, it's a different dynamic than your freshman or even sophomore year, right? Like junior year, yeah, like you're probably getting there too with seriousness, but like for me, like of course, dude, my first year, I was up at UFV, right? Locally here, going to college, playing baseball for UFV. I didn't care about college. I just wanted to play baseball, man. Like that's why I'm here, right?
That's what I'm trying to say is like, there's no, and that's a hard thing is like with athletes is because I think a lot of times when you play sport, you want to go because I think it's cool. Like, yeah, you go get an education if that's what you need. But like nowadays too, there's so many things you can do without education. Yeah. And that's also a big thing too. I've also had buddies, man, that like, and nothing to them, like, but like they've gotten their degrees and they don't use it. Like, yeah, they spent 4 years doing it. They spent the money to get their degree, but they don't even use the degree that they're in. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, you know, at the end of the day, was it really worth the 4 years? Maybe you learned something, maybe you experienced something, but like I look at it as for myself is I'm happy I didn't do more school after, because there was a time where I think I was kind of inquiring to go to UFE after, and they were telling me like, oh, this is how much it is, this is what it's going to be, these are what the courses are, and I was like, through the application process, and I just decided, I'm like, nah, I'm just going to go build my business.
I mean,
and I spent that 4 years doing that.
Well, so. Yeah. And like my question to you is, if you did go and pursue college, would that only have delayed the inevitable with what you wanted to do in the first place? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where do you see yourself now if you have gone to college, you know, for that time period? Would you have been that developed with your business and whatnot right now this day? I don't think so. And what? Because you didn't go and get a degree or you didn't go get a master's, that defines your success in life? I don't think so. I think you've been very, very successful with what you've done and the outreach you've had with young athletes. Yeah. I know you just had Gage on the podcast, not too long ago. And, you know, like, look at the impact you're making with individuals like that. I mean, you train him, right? You've trained me. You've had the opportunity to train a lot of young athletes that, who knows? I mean, they're aspiring, right? They could be, I don't know, 5-10 years down the road in professional sports, right? So define success. What is success, right? It comes in different shapes and forms. Whatever success to me is what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about something and you enjoy it, that's success, right? Surely. Yeah. So I think where you're at now, I mean, you know, our conversations and whatnot, and what I see you doing with your, you know, platform and in your business, it's cool, man. Like, seeing from when you first started off and when we first met to where you're at now, look how far you've progressed, right?
Yeah.
You know?
It's been like 5 years. I think the cool thing too is that going back to looking at different things, even 2 years ago, bro, I thought I actually, like, 2 years ago, I had there was like a few months where I was almost going to try to pursue baseball again. I never told you this.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I was like inquiring about like maybe trying to go back and play at like a high level. I don't know what happened. It was just a weird, like, it was like 2 months where I was just like, I need to get back and play pro, or not pro, but like play high level.
Is that what we consider a midlife crisis?
Apparently, I guess.
No, like that's cool though, man. Like, what?
It was weird, dude. I was like even inquiring about like getting like being able to try to use the facility.
Yeah,
in
Abbotsford,
and like try to get back into it, and I don't know. I was just like super inclined. I was like dreaming about it. It was really weird, dude.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why it was kind of like a weird phenomenon kind of thing. And then I think something just picked up with business, and it just kind of like the idea went away.
Interesting. You know, I'm a psychology major, right?
Yeah. What are you going to tell me right now?
Obviously it's in your subconscious, right? You ever see the iceberg?
I thought you were going to read me right now.
Really? Yeah, I know, totally. Yeah. Put out your palm real quick. Let me do a palm reading, right? No. But no, dude, like obviously there's some part of you that is still not totally fulfilled, like to that degree. And that's not a bad thing, right? Yeah. Do you think maybe that's why you wanted to get yourself involved with slow pitch? Just to, you know, have some type of familiarity with the sport? Yeah,
maybe. I think it's just like, but then I look at like, sometimes the thing with slow pitch too was like, it was even hard for me to make games.
Well, you're so busy, right?
So it was just like one of those things too. So it's like I pay to, you know, whatever the fee is to go, but I'm only playing maybe half the games, not even.
Right.
So it's kind of, and then I get injured because I'm not used to playing slow pitch. And then it's hard because I'm competitive.
Yeah.
So like I want to go sprint as fast as I can. I want to try to get every baseball that I can. And like, then I like hurt my Achilles, and that was like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, because I wear cleats. Like, I wear cleats never.
Yeah.
And then I put on a pair of cleats and I start sprinting, running down, tracking every single baseball that gets hit to me.
George Springer out there making plays.
Yeah, and I haven't put cleats on in a year.
Yeah.
So I'm not used to it.
Man, right? I mean, I'll say the same. Like, when I was up in BC, right, at the beginning of summer, I got back from school. This was late May, right? I decided that, you know, I wanted to go and obviously try to play baseball still. So my buddy up in Alberta, who I played with the, you know, summer prior, he said, hey, we have a men's league up here. Red Deer Riggers, come play. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like it sounds, I had to drive like 4 hours one way to go play a baseball game, a men's league baseball game, right? I'm like, I don't know. But me, like loving the game, and this is where passion comes in, right? I love the game so much, I'll do that. So I go up there, right? I do it. I think 3 games. I mean, dude, like after the first game, I mean, I felt stuff that I never felt before. And I'm like, dude, this like my body hurts right now, right? Like my thighs, my groin, my IT band, like all that kind of stuff, right? And you don't realize that when you take so much time off and you're not putting yourself in those compromised positions, because baseball, as you know, you put yourself in some pretty compromised positions playing the game, right? Yeah. Whether you know it or you're not, you're doing it. Slow it down on film and see, right, frame by frame, how your body contorts itself
subconsciously,
right? So it's when you talk about your body hurting, I know exactly what you mean. I can't even imagine for you. You must have felt like you were just like hit by a truck or something after you played.
Dude, I was going to physio every single week and like because I have availability to like. I know like people in the field and like I could text them, get in kind of whenever. Yeah. And like I was doing all that extra and it was still took like 6 months and it was still lingering. And to this day, it still lingers a little bit.
Wow. Really?
My Achilles, my left Achilles tendon, because your tendons are like one of those things that just takes so long because it's harder it's harder than like a muscle. A muscle's very like, it's not easy, but it's easier to deal with. A tendon is like very specific. It takes a long time. Also to your heels, like you're always walking, you're always doing something, you're always on your feet. And that's what I do for my job. Yeah. So, and I lift. So it's like every time I put a little bit of pressure on, it makes it a little bit worse. So it's kind of like take, 3 steps forward, but 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, especially with a tendon. So it's just like one of those things that I was trying to deal with. So I know.
That's so tough. Yeah, just especially with, that being in the back of your mind the whole time.
But I also find too, like injury wise, I've lost like 20 pounds in the last 10 weeks. Yeah. It's way less pressure on my Achilles too, right? Naturally, so right? Yeah. I think that's also a big thing that's helped, right? Mm-hmm. For athletes, if they're like, carrying some extra weight that maybe might be benefiting them. That's always a good like plan is to, you could also, lean down a little bit and see if that helps. But again, that's just very specific to the individual.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is a super intimate moment we're having right now. Like the eye contact.
Everyone just go look at the film right now, and you'll see what we mean.
Maybe it's just
Jonah secretly has a crush on me.
I don't know if it's a secret, if it's like known. I mean, absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
I don't want to speculate.
I don't literally blushing.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate anything. No. Okay, going back to, I actually want to talk about your TikTok stuff.
Okay.
So.
Look, he's all giddy now, everyone. He knows.
Well, it's because Jonah says he was going to invite me on his TikTok, and he still hasn't because he says I'm too busy, but he never has invited me. So I think that's BS. I think he just doesn't want me on there because he knows that I'm going to take all his fame, but it's fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, no, let's talk about it. Talk about like what you do and how you're famous on TikTok.
Okay, let's just correct one thing. I'm not famous on TikTok. I have a
Aren't you like Juice Box Boy or something?
No, okay, no, like no, it's not. I don't know where we got that terminology. That's crazy.
Isn't there like
that's wild.
There's like a juice box.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay,
I totally just got him. I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Hilarious. Yeah. No. Okay. So it was like part of branding and whatnot. Like I call.
I'm not making fun of you.
No, I know you're not making fun of me.
I'm actually serious. Wasn't it Juice Box something?
It was Team Juice.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there was a juice box beside it.
Well, there was, because that like made the most sense for like juice box, right? Yeah. Like it wasn't like Juice Box, like Team Juice Box. Like that. That's kind of weird, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Anyways. Yeah, no, I mean, so TikTok.
I wasn't wrong though, but.
I never really saw myself getting that. I'm not a huge social media guy to begin with. Like I'm pretty reserved on social media, and for me, TikTok, it was an opportunity that kind of came up for me in spring of last year. I was down in Kansas coaching at my college, and one of the guys who's actually who I coached, he's from Victoria, right off on the island there. And you know, he was doing TikTok, and so I kind of, you know, began to watch. I mean, obviously I'm sure everyone's familiar with TikTok, right? You got TikTok lives and also, you know, videos and whatever, threads and stuff, right? Notes. But yeah, he would do TikTok lives, and so I'd tune in, and you know, he was essentially, you know, I think he had his certification in like personal training, so that was his brand, right? Like he would shape his lives around that, and also you know, just kind of his personality, right? Like, because at that point, you know, certain people, well, I mean, I guess all influencers, it's, you're selling a personality, at least in my opinion, maybe, right? I don't know, like that's part of the whole scheme of things, in my opinion. So, you know, after watching him do it, and seeing, you know, like talking to him about it, and seeing some of the incentives that came along with it, and just kind of the outreach that you can make with individuals, you know, I thought it was a great opportunity, and definitely like a very unsaturated niche, right? I was like, oh, this hasn't really been tapped into yet, so maybe there's some room for growth, like from an individual standpoint, right? So I remember, I think my time, like my following at the time, I had like 200 followers, right? And in order to go live on TikTok, you had to have 1,000, right? 1,000 followers. And so I started to kind of, you know, have him provide some mentorship, and really try to explore a niche that I wanted to get into. And in my niche, you know, it obviously revolved around my baseball stuff, and then also some motivational, you know, videos and whatnot, and a little bit of, you know, religious ideology. You know, I'm a Christian, so I believe in God. And, you know, I wanted to be able to try and tap into that, you know, community of people, and, you know, see if I could build a brand off that. Right. And yeah, like it so happened, you know, to be that there was a market for that, and there was, you know, potential growth for the outreach that was involved with, you know, meeting people that, quite frankly, are around, you know, around the world. You know, I'm sure you're familiar with insights and analytics based off of your social media platforms that you have. Seeing the outreach and where it came from, that was really cool to me, right? So yeah, doing that, like from 200 followers to now, I mean, it's not that big yet, but you know, almost 3,000 in from the span of late April, you know, and not to mention, you know, it's been from April to now, right? But when I went down in late June, I totally took a break from it because my time was consumed with baseball. So getting back into it now, you know, for me, it's like I've had the chance to grow, and it's grown very successfully in the small amount of time that I put into it, right? So, you know, even talking with you last week about that, right, on the phone, yeah, like I think there's so much more room for branding, especially for more of a baseball, you know, kind of lens, if that makes sense. I think that's definitely what I want to do, and eventually make my own brand based off of that. And who knows, like kind of like you, get into some clothing, get into some marketing strategies that I could build, you know, my brand around, right? And who I am and what my image is, and, you know, whatnot. But yeah, it's really, TikTok is, I mean, social media is so cool. Like it's so interesting, right? The things you can do with it nowadays, and the people you can reach from. I mean, I have people that are from the UK. I have people that are from Denmark that come into my lives and, you know, follow, you know, me, and are a part of the community, which is really cool. So I think that, you know, for me in general, TikTok has been, you know, kind of one of those opportunities where I never thought it would happen, but, you know, just kind of taking a leap of faith and seeing, like, trying something new, right? It's been really cool.
So when am I getting invited?
Were you just waiting to ask that question the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you're always invited. You know that. Me personally, I go live pretty late at night. So
like how late?
I know I know you got to get your bedtime. Like,
yeah,
bedtime
dude,
and
come
stuff.
on.
You know, you're an old man now.
Can you do like a little bit earlier for me?
For you, I might have to make an exception because you did get me on the podcast. So I think I like owe you now. Like I owe you something.
Well, how early? Like what's late, bro?
What's late? I mean, like for you, bedtime's at like 8 p.m.
No, bro. What time's late for you? What time do you go on?
I try to go on around 9:30 Pacific Standard Time.
That's late, bro.
This is what I'm saying. Like you're asleep.
No, I'm like in bed a little bit, but I'm not sleeping.
No, like
I'm zonked out at like 10:30, 11.
Yeah, so I'll go live for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So like you're already in REM sleep by then.
Just,
you know what I mean? Like,
no, okay, come on, like 7?
I told you it's
7
absolutely.
too? Why is 7 too early?
No, it's not. It's not too early.
Why can't you do 7 then?
We can do 7.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if it's for you, I'll make the exception.
Like maybe people will like it.
No, they probably will because I'll be live earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, I mean, thanks.
What are we gonna do? What do you do? I've never even seen one. You haven't even invited me to one.
Invite. So you need an invite to join my live. You can't just like go on my profile and click on my icon.
I don't get no notifications for it.
Okay, well, what you gotta do is go to my TikTok, turn on notifications, and then you have it pop up on your phone when I go live.
Actually, you know what? I have no notifications turned on for my phone.
No.
That's why you have to double call me all the time.
Yeah, you do ignore me a lot, actually.
It's not ignoring, bro. I have do not disturb on all
I
day.
get it. You're big league now, bro. I get it.
And then I answer your second call, though.
Yeah, you do. So, but no, I mean, I'd love to do that. Actually, you know,
what would you do? What would we do?
Anything.
What do you do?
What do I do? I talk to people. I try
What
genuinely.
do you mean talk to people?
I try to bring.
Like, do you invite them in?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can do like a thing called boxes, so they can come into my live and like talk with me live, or they can just comment and stuff. But genuinely, what I try to do is, you know, man, like life is, you know, life's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life has a lot of happiness, a lot of sadness. You know, we go through different challenges on a daily basis. You know, you could have stuff going on right now I don't know about, right? You know, it's just tough, man. Like, if I can provide any kind of entertainment or happiness in someone's day, even if it's for just an hour and a half or 2 hours, what's wrong with that? Right? Like, for me, my impact and what people have even told me, like DM me and stuff, like after, like and this sounds like crazy, but I'm just saying what I was told. Like, I've changed people's lives, you know, like religiously, also just personally with like, hey, you know, I was going through a really rough time this month with depression. And like, you know, my reason, you know, right now is because like of you, like you come in and you make me see the greater perspective that I can't see by myself. Right. So I genuinely, like, I enjoy that. I enjoy bringing that aspect to people's lives, and that just, and you know, and even from like a baseball perspective, bro, like if you were to ask me, why do I do baseball? Yeah, I love to be competitive, but the best part about baseball at the end of the day that I'll never trade anything for my entire life is after the game, when all those kids come down and you get to make their day, right? Sign autographs, talk to them. That's really special to me, man. Like the human interaction, right? Mm-hmm. So that goes both ways. TikTok, baseball. I think that's super important because I think that we live in a very hateful, in a very, you know, sad world sometimes that, quite frankly, it's hard to process. So if I can provide any kind of, you know, genuineness or happiness to someone's life, why not me? Right?
Okay, so when you do this, though, I'm going to try to get a little bit of context here.
Sure.
You're in there, you start the live. What happens if I don't have 1,000 followers on TikTok?
I think you're good. You just can't show your screen, I think, like your video. Like you could still talk. That's why it would be beneficial for us to like literally be doing what we're doing right now and then have like the camera set up and then we're just in the same room and it's more like personal that way, you know? Like more professional production, if that makes sense. Right?
So you have to come back.
Yeah, give me a reason to come back. I will.
Are we doing one tonight at live?
You want to? We could. Absolutely. That we could. Yeah. I could. Dude, I should have brought all my stuff with me now. All my production stuff.
Oh, what do you need?
Just like lighting and whatnot. You know, like kind of what we got going on in here. Right?
We can find light.
Well, like studio lighting. Like it makes a difference, bro. The production makes a difference. It does. Just
you like, know. Graham, do you think we get a light?
You want a light?
No. If we did a live, do you think we could get a light?
If you did it live?
Yeah, like did a TikTok live. Do you think we could borrow a light?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
Okay, perfect.
There's a light right there, bro.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, sure, if you want to do one, we'll do one. I think that'd be really cool, actually. I think that'd be like super interesting.
Okay, and then what happens? So you just announce it? Like you're just like, yo, I'm doing it live?
Yeah, I mean, I got a Discord channel, so
How many people are on it?
In my live?
Yeah.
It depends. Like I'll have my usual crowd of around like, you know, it could, I mean, it sounds small, but like 8 to 15 people. And then, you know, when I was doing it more prolifically earlier in the summer, I mean, I would have anywhere from, you know, 60 to 100, 120 people in there at a time. Right. So again, we talk about outreach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's
What's your Discord look like?
It's honestly, my Discord is just a matter of being able to communicate with people and say, hey, this is what time I'm going live at, right? Just kind of, again, a sense of community, like to feel a part of something, right?
Yeah.
I think people appreciate that. I mean, I have people that message me after lives and say, hey, can I join your Discord? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you can join it. Makes them feel like they're a part of something, right? So I think that's
When's the last time
cool.
you did a live?
2 nights ago.
How'd it go?
It actually went really good. It went really good, actually. Yeah.
What happened? Why did it go so good?
Well, like, are we talking like from a financial perspective, or are we talking like from an overall enjoyment perspective?
No, we don't need to talk about financial.
Yeah.
Let's like, we already know you make millions. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
It's fine.
totally. Throughout my Rolex.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, like enjoyment. Why was it good joining? Enjoyment wise.
Honestly, like everyone was just in a really good mood. Like everyone was happy, and I had some really good engagement with some followers and met some new people. I honestly can say anytime I can meet new people in my live and build some kind of rapport with them,
Mm-hmm.
I consider that successful. That means I'm doing something, right? I'm connecting with them on some type of level if they're willing to stay in that live and engage, right? Like obviously, again, with analytics, right, we can look at stuff of like, okay, average view time and all watch time, right, and see all that kind of stuff, and you can see like, okay, who's your highest watch or who's your highest viewer, right? And to be able to look at that from an analytic, perspective and see, okay, I was able to, reach out to 15% more people to my last live, and like seeing that growth and whatnot too, like that, again, that's super important to me, right? If I can have a bigger outreach, that means that potentially just maybe I'm making somewhat of an impact on that person, right? Because why are they watching the live, if they're in there for an hour and a half? Like, what's their purpose in being there? Hopefully it's not just because they think, oh, that's a good looking dude, right? Like whatever, right?
Probably, dude.
Maybe, right?
You're just a stud.
Totally.
I don't know,
But
bro.
no, like I hope, like genuinely, I hope that it's because of they're interested in, the conversation and the engagement aspect of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if I posted saying that I'm on a live on something, then I would just put your thing in there, or what?
Like if you were to go live on TikTok
I
yourself.
would just pay like, I'm gonna be on Juicebox Boys
Okay,
live.
if we're ever gonna go live together, let's get the facts straight. There's no Juice Boy or Juice Box thing. Okay, that's slowly. It wasn't even a brand at one point. That's totally fabricated.
Do you know how I just see? I have a good memory, bro.
Yeah,
You can't get away with anything with me, bro. I got a good memory, man.
I think you're just a pathological liar. Honestly,
Jesus.
Yeah, you're
What the heck,
No, I'm
man?
kidding.
Whoa.
No, I'm joking.
That was a big excuse.
Why are you getting so nervous about it if you're not?
That I'm not?
Yeah.
You think I am?
No, I don't think so. I just wanted to see your reaction, honestly.
If I'm nervous about it?
Yeah.
I'm not nervous about
Because
it.
like if you're nervous about something, does that bring truth to it?
I think we all get nervous when we get accused of something, even though it might not be true.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the border.
Oh yeah, true.
It's like you're shitting bricks, but like I didn't do anything.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You double check your trunk real quick.
Oh my god. No, but
No, I know what you mean.
like when somebody says something to you, do you almost like second guess it?
Yeah, totally.
And you're kind of like, am I actually like that?
It's human nature, right?
Yeah. So
Totally. No, I mean, no, but if you wanted to go live with me one day, I mean, sure, dude, absolutely. I'd love that.
Throw that out and just nonchalant, just move on to the next.
Yeah,
subject,
yeah,
eh?
that's
Wow, that's a pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. No, if you want to, for sure, let me know. Like, I know you've let me know already, but let's actually get a date scheduled so we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I gotta be with you.
You don't have to be, but if you were, it'd be more of a better production.
Are we like sitting beside each other, like
Totally.
arms around each other?
I mean,
Like-
if you want to caress me, I'm not gonna argue.
Like, is that how you do it, or have you
Totally,
ever had a guest
totally.
before on?
Not like in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
who?
Who?
Yeah.
Actually, one of my most recent guests was a former teammate of mine who
Okay.
is with the Milwaukee Brewers right now. He's in the farm system.
Okay, and you guys just chatted?
Yeah, just
How did that
talked-
go?
Great.
Collab
honestly.
went well?
No, people love it. Yeah, like if you bring in, you know, somebody and it mixes up, you know, the overall live, like in general,
Yeah.
people like, you know, variety,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, you're already like, look to the left and right for me real quick. Yeah, like you're a good looking dude, right?
Is that that's the like you keep going to that. So is that like something that you got to be?
A good looking dude.
To be on TikTok
it
Live?
helps. Yeah, it definitely
Oh, okay,
it helps,
okay,
right?
okay.
You're gonna hopefully have some more
Fuck, dude, he
retention.
keeps flirting with me, man.
No, in the most wholesome way, because you're my best friend, bro. So I appreciate you.
No, okay, so okay, cool. Let's. I know we keep going on this, but
Yeah.
I just need details when I'm about to
Yeah, the live.
You
Yeah,
know,
of course. And who knows?
commit
Like,
to something.
maybe you could build your brand on TikTok too. Who knows?
I don't really. There's so many things though nowadays. That's the thing. Actually, you know what I've been into is threads.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like trolling people on threads.
Totally.
Have you heard of threads?
Yeah, I've never downloaded it though. But like trolling people on threads?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like when somebody asks silly questions, man. There's a question. Somebody's like, how can you? What's the easiest way? Or like something like, I want to eat 50 cookies. So what's the easiest way to lose weight after?
That's kind of a bad question.
Yeah. So I just troll. Like I'll say something silly, man.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know. Like once I was like, oh, I don't know. Somebody asked like, what's the best fasting window?
Yeah.
Or something or whatever. Like I don't just like things that are probably not going to be super like there's too many people that look at such the little things
Right.
that probably don't have that much impact on their goals.
Yeah.
Where if they just looked at the boring simple things and they just did those consistently, they'd probably see more results than trying to keep doing the next best diet, the next best eating window, the next best this, the next best that. Like too many people spend so much time on this stuff when they should be spending more time on the simple stuff.
Yeah. There you go. It's simplifying, right?
Well, because it's boring.
Well, but yeah, like you ever see that there's like a picture that I've seen on social media, right? It's like two diagrams and it's motivation, right? And motivation goes like this. And then you see it come crashing down, right? And then you see discipline and it's a constant wave. Like you're totally on that wavelength, right? Yeah, like simple things sometimes suck.
Yeah.
They do. Like it gets boring, like you said. Who wants to do the same thing over and over and over again? Where's the gratification? Where's the dopamine in that? Right? There's not much. Unless you're so disciplined and you have that like marine mentality of like, I'm so committed to my goals, right? Whether it's business perspective or athletically, scholarly as well. Dude, if you can adopt a mindset like the David Goggins mindset, dude, if you can get a mindset like that, that's a scary machine right there.
Yeah, but I make the argument with David Goggins. I've had this conversation before.
Oh, really? So you're not a David Goggins fan?
No, I'm not. It's not that I'm not a fan.
Right.
It's just like he's playing a character, like you said.
No, well, it's a personality.
He's not yelling at the dinner table, "Eat your fucking peas," and screaming at people and like give me 20 push-ups in between your bites.
No, that's the personality he sells.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. So that's what I try to tell people though. I'm like, he's not like that all the time.
No, absolutely not.
So I think that's just what I don't like about sometimes is that there's that like character.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we all tend to play obviously a part, even if it's business or not. Like obviously, if I'm with my buddies versus like in the gym, I'm going to be more professional when I'm in the gym because I'm running something. But I mean, I think the caveat of it is that you still are the same person no matter what environment you're in. You just have a filter on specific things.
Well, yeah, I mean, you wear different masks for different social, environments, right? I mean, whether you're with family, whether you're with friends, or you're working with your coworkers, absolutely you do, right?
Yeah.
That's human nature, right?
But I think the misconception with David Goggins is that people think that's what you have to be all the time. And also too, like there's like videos of him, he's like stretching at like 3:00 in the morning where he could be sleeping. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well that's probably for the average person, you probably should be getting more sleep than you should be foam rolling for an hour at 3:00 in the morning.
It's extreme measures, right? And again, for him, that's his revenue. Like that's how he makes his money, right? So obviously he's gonna feed into that. I mean, it's like Liver King. You ever watch Liver King?
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
right? Come on, man. Like, you're not. There's no way. You
Well, yeah, he's claimed natty for so long, and then
yeah. I mean, we both know, right?
yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, in general though, like obviously not as extreme as David Goggins, but that general mentality, like obviously not totally crazy like him at 3 a.m. and whatnot. But man, like if you can develop a routine that is disciplined and you are true to the fact of you want to achieve your goals and whatnot. I mean, I see you preach about it all the time on your social media, right? The motivational stuff that you put out and how it pertains to, you know, achieving the best version of yourself and in your goals and whatnot. It sucks, man. Like, you know, my dad has always told me, you know, from a very young age, like if you want to do something and be great at it, you got to pay the price. Well, what is that? Like, what is paying the price? Well, you know what I've like found personally? Like, obviously I would assume that everyone has different perspective of what that means to them. But to me, it's doing the things you don't like to do.
Yeah.
Do you think I like getting underneath a squat rack and squatting heavy weight? Not really. It sucks. It's hard, right? Do you think I like running up Grinder Hill, a big ass incline, and doing wind sprints? No, dude, that sucks. I want to puke after. But when I have that translate for me, doing the thing I love the most, right? The gravy on top, right? Yeah, it's awesome because now I'm reaping the benefit of the suck, right? So that for me, that's the mentality that I think a lot of people, you know, have such a hard time with because it sucks, man. Like it sucks doing the hard work. It really does. But when you get to reap the benefit of it, that's the best part, right? So.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it, brother. That was very motivational. Look at you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Wow. Such a good speaker.
Yeah. No, you're great.
You like me as a host? You like me as a host?
Yeah, you're great. You know, it's awesome, honestly.
Were you nervous when you got here?
No, Jeremy, come on, man. Like, you know I'm not nervous.
Oh, you get nervous around me sometimes.
Around you? Yeah, like this is gonna raise some serious questions for people after this podcast. No, you're a great dude, man. I really appreciate you, man. And like our friendship, I mean, I'm so thankful for it.
I think people can see how our friendship is.
Yeah, totally. You're awesome, man.
I really appreciate it, man.
Of course.
No, but I just want to say thank you, man. And where can people find you on socials?
Literally my name, Jonah Weisner. So I mean, I
was gonna make another joke, but
don't do it. Don't do it, man. Save me the embarrassment, man. Come on. You know how many times my name has been in? Yeah, whatever.
No, not that. I was gonna say something about your TikTok.
Oh yeah,
no,
whatever. That too.
Okay. No, on a serious note, where they can find you on Instagram, where can they find you on TikTok, where can they find you on YouTube to listen to you sing, where can they find your baseball stats?
Yeah, if you want to take a trip to the past and watch me sing on YouTube, that's awesome. I mean, if you like listening to 13-year-olds sing covers of Justin Bieber, it's right there for you, man. But no, that was honestly a lot of fun. Jonah Weisner. So my first name, my last name, just honestly search it up on YouTube search bar and it will pop up like crazy.
Instagram too is the same?
Yeah, Instagram's the same. TikTok is Jonah. I think it's just Jonah Weisner. I'll have to confirm that. Should I check right now?
Yeah, you can check. And then you can tell me where they can find your stats on your baseball.
Literally, yeah. Hold on.
Baseball is going to be or where can you watch games? Can they watch your games?
Yeah. So TikTok, it's Jonah with 4 H's and then a W.
Okay.
So that's not that hard. And then
Jonah with 4 H's and a W.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like on you go on Safari or whatever you use for your internet browser, just search up my name, and I mean literally it's actually insane. It's really cool actually. There's like a bunch of articles in my baseball reference page with all my stats. Same thing for watching, like when we go back or when I go back and play this coming season, you know, May 17th is our first game. Everything's on YouTube. It's free to watch, so they do a good job with making sure that that's accessible to people all around. You can be anywhere in the world and watch it.
What's the website though?
Welland, Welland. Yeah, Jackfish. Okay. Literally look it up, and everything is, I mean, their site's so easy to navigate. It's awesome. They do a great job. So
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Well, thank you. I'm going to end it off here. Thank you, everyone, for listening to episode 25 of the North Star podcast with Jonah Weisner, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.